Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today we're going to do some quick and easy DIY Mother's Day gifts. This video is brought to you by our friends at GraphicStock.com. They are a subscription-based graphics company with over 300,000 images for you to choose from. And the great thing is they are royalty-free, so you can use them in your projects, both personal use and for sale, without any copyright worries, which is totally awesome. Sign up today for only $39 for 6 months of unlimited downloads from GraphicStock. That's an 87% savings. April is Customer Appreciation Month, or Creative Rewards Month. So for April, they are rolling out 10,000 additional stock photos in their library, and some surprise new product features will be rolled out too. And I love the way their website works. They have great features, including my favorite, which is the project folder feature. I can organize all of my graphics for one project into a folder. I can even invite friends to look in the folder too and collaborate with me if they're also GraphicStock members. So that's really helpful and makes putting together a project a breeze. I'll have more details on how you can sign up. There's a link in the video description at the end of the video, but for right now, let's get into our projects. I get a lot of comments on my blog. People write in and say that their mothers are getting into coloring book, the whole adult coloring fad. So I thought, you know, that would be a wonderful idea for a DIY project. So I started looking around on GraphicStock and I found these really cute illustrations of buildings, and I was actually able just to print that out on my 8.5 by 11 cardstock as is. I also found these two birdcage images that I thought would be really good for the cover, the front and back cover, and also a few other pieces that I thought would make really good coloring pages. Now, something else that I found that was really useful were some seamless tiles, and generally graphic designers will use those to make overall patterns. But what I did was I cropped it, just the 8.5 by 11 rotation. I cropped each corner of the preview of the set and printed those out full size. Now all I have to do is cut those in quarters and I'll be able to make my book. You can see, even though I cropped it down and I didn't repeat any of the designs, which is kind of like a tiling feature you probably wouldn't be familiar with unless you've done some graphic design work, it's still nice and crisp and totally looks great for coloring. You don't want to make anything too small when you're making an adult coloring book because you gotta have room for your pencils or markers to fit in there. Now, people ask me what's the best pencils, what's the best paper, what's the best coloring books to get when you're an adult coloring book. Well, I think that the best ones are the ones you make yourself, because you can pick nice quality cardstock, you can print them as dark or as light as you want. I just went with nice and dark lines so that it'll be easy to color, and then you can use that with whatever pencils and pens are compatible with your printer ink and your cardstock. So in this case, I would use a regular colored pencil, or I would use like your Copic markers, Prismacolor markers, because we're working with printer ink, which won't smear with those types of markers. I will warn you to print your pages on only one side if you're going to use markers. That way you don't have to worry about bleed through. And consider including an extra piece of paper that can be put between the pages while they're coloring. Now, all I did after I trimmed apart all my pages was I used my binding machine to punch holes in the edge of each paper, and then I used the birdcage designs that I showed you earlier for the front and back covers. That way your mom can have fun decorating the covers just as much as the interior pages. This book is small enough to fit inside of a purse, so she could always have it with her on the go, and I would just team that up with a small box of colored pencils to make the perfect gift. Another gift my mother always appreciates is handmade stationery. Now, there are so many gorgeous backgrounds at GraphicStock.com that you can use pretty much as is, but I have a tip for you. So when you're looking at a lot of those backgrounds, you'll notice that they're available in different formats. They're usually available in JPEG format, which is kind of what your photographs usually are, just a flat one-layer project. And they're also available in EPS, which is a vector format, and that basically means that you can move around all the little pieces in a design in graphics software. But most average crafters don't have that graphic software, so I'm going to tell you how to get rid of the words in the middle of your background. So for instance, these said sample text here in the middle. All I did was I used my computer's clone tool in Paint Shop Pro, but Photoshop Elements or GIMP, all of those softwares would have that tool, and I just right-clicked next to my image to capture that background color, and then I just erased the sample text here image, and I was able to have a nice blank card to begin crafting with. When you're ready to print your design, there's a couple different ways you might want to go about making these cards, and I'll show you both examples right here on this paper. So if you want to make, like, say you want to make 2 cards out of 1 piece of cardstock and you don't want to have to layer it on anything, what you can do is print your card base on 1/2 of the card and leave that blank. Then when I cut that out, I could fold it in half and have a card. Or you can make all of your card bases from a flattering color, like craft would look really well with this design. So you can make your, cut some craft cardstock in half, make your card bases, and then adhere these on top either way. Now, what I thought I would originally do with this is that I would cut my paper in half and fold it, and then I would cut out some of these elements from the other duplicates that I printed. I made sure to print them the same size so it would work, and then I could glue them over it and kind of curl the petals and make it a little 3-dimensional. No matter what you decide, whether you decide to make just one really awesome Mother's Day card, or you decide to make a set of stationery that Mom can use for a variety of options, just think about that when you print it. It's going to be great. Now, one tip that I will offer you when you're making custom stationery is to include a bunch of sentiments, but don't glue them on the cards. So if you make like a set of 6 cards, make a bunch of different sentiments, some that say happy birthday, some that say thank you, some that say thinking of you, some that say with sympathy, and that way she won't run out of cards and have a bunch left over from a sentiment that she doesn't need. That way she could take the card she likes and add the sentiment to it, and then she can have a kit for whatever type of event comes up that she needs a card for. Another great thing if you're into card making or scrapbooking is to look at the graphics at graphicstock.com in terms of embellishments. So I thought this was really pretty, and I just printed it out as is, and it's just some lovely kind of vintage florals with a little bit of a watercolor look to them. I thought those would be really fun to use on cards, and I also saw this really modern stylized floral, which I thought would be really great as like a journal cover, or maybe cut out and put on bookmarks or greeting cards or scrapbook pages. There's so many different things you could do. You could even cut this out and put it on a gift tag, and it would just have such a really fun and funky look. The sky's the limits when you make crafts using your computer, because you can print exactly what you want in the perfect color to suit your perfect recipient, in this case, your mom. I hope you enjoyed this project today, and if so, please check out graphicstock.com. Get started with GraphicStock today for just $39 for 6 months of unlimited downloads from their extensive library. There'll be a link in the video description so you can find it. Typically, 1 month of GraphicStock is $49, so this is an 87% savings, exclusive for new members during this Creative Community Appreciation Month. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. I want to thank GraphicStock for sponsoring, and until next time, happy crafting!